Batung Luna, it seems like AKA and Tibelo's case might be solved before Senzo Meyiwa's case, because we know that case is false. The real killers are on stage, they are singing Zofela Konempini, while the other men, they are in the dock because they are already doing other crimes. The man that is after my job, our YouTuber, influencer, content creator, they held another press conference to give us an update on how the suspects were. Let's get into it. Ngyan amukela kunqubo yami bomuntu abakade bomuntu abakagogo bomuntu abaka-auntie bomuntu abakasisi. I am Sims, and it's at the right Sims on Instagram, so please follow your sister. We are starting very early today. Speggy Baba, Numhodu get 3 food. There's a lot to unpack. Ayiki 6 gun. Spegang it's why. So we all know that on the 10th of February last year, Keenan Forbes and Utibelo Tibbs lost their lives. All right? It was all on camera right in front of our eyes. But because of how it went down, we saw the killers disappear into the night, and we were like, this case is never going to get solved. Well, honey, it seems like it's been ongoing, and they've been doing some work behind the scenes. So now let's start here. So from my last video, I told you that AKA's alleged killers had been arrested, right? Well, it turns out the 2 that were arrested are part of a bigger group, guys. So follow me on this story. It turns out that this was a professional hit, and Keenan Forbes was the main target, okay? These people were hired. They've arrested 6. Imagine, they've arrested 6 suspects, right? So according to Ubabuntlantla Kwanazi, he had a press conference, right? And he unpacked some details regarding this case. It is said that from the 6 suspects that were arrested, 1 was arrested last April, 2 were arrested in October, 1 was arrested in December in connections to other crimes, but they were being investigated for this crime. So the other 2 that were recently arrested add to the number of the 6, and 1 person is allegedly still at large. Out of these 6 people, they all had different roles to play, okay? So 1 was a coordinator, 2 were spotters, 2 were shooters, and I think 1 was the driver. And with the spotters, it said the spotter had information from the airport. He was following Keenan and his friends from the airport and was following them around Durban. You remember what AKA on that day was at the barbershop, they were at the gym, they did so many activities. They had already been followed from the time they got to Durban. All right? And then the other spotter had already been in the restaurant inside with AKA and his friends. So it is apparent that the hit was supposed to take place in the car. When AKA was in the car, that's when it was supposed to happen. But because of, obviously, you can't plan everything to the it happened how it happened. And unfortunately, it said Ukuti Tibbs was an unfortunate part of this, and he wasn't even like the one that was supposed to be unalived. The whole thing was focused on Keenan. Now let's get to who hired these men, because these men were paid 800,000 rands allegedly. You know, the 2 brothers that were the Inkabis, had received 133,000 rands each, according to Eswatini Times, guys, because Eswatini is the one that broke this news. And even when the South African system was trying to dodge this, because even yesterday they tried to backpedal and backtrack, but Eswatini was like, we stand on what we say. These people are arrested with regards to AKA's case. Here are the banks, they even have bank statements, okay? So I feel like but knowing Inkabi, they are not allowed to ever speak on who hired them, you know? So now people are on social media speculating, if this hit was solely focused on Keenan, then it might be because of his ex-fiance. You now remember that his ex-fiance had accused Keenan for so many things regarding EGBV, you know, and she took her own life while Keenan was there. There were two of them in the room, and she took her own life, unfortunately. And we all know that Anele is from a very powerful family in Durban, right? She is the daughter of Moses Tembe. This man is super extra powerful. And we even saw that at Anele's funeral, the tension there was insane. And you could see next to Anele's father, like Yazini, you would see, we are going to solve this, we're going to solve this, you know? So now, people are like, 800,000, that is a small change to Moses Tembe. They think so. And they also say that there is no way these people had so much information regarding Keenan's whereabouts if there was no inside man. If there was no inside man in AKA's camp, you know. And we know that AKA's team consists mostly of his friends, you know. But you remember that all eyes were some point at Don Design. Don Design seemed to be acting funny around the time this hit was about to take place. He looked like he was like saying, okay, this is the time, come do it, you know. So people are like, we still suspect that the inside man is inside. Your enemies are inside your close friends. You understand it? Oh, I'm not putting my juice here because I see I gave a lot of you a lot of anxiety, debranding. So I put it now here, you know? So Eswatini is doing an amazing job. And I am also like slightly pleasantly surprised that they've been working behind the scenes. I'm talking about our South African police services, but you also can't thank fish for swimming. But I'm pleasantly surprised. Uguti, they've had all these suspects in custody already since last year while they've been working on this case, you know. To think that their first suspect was arrested in April. And guys, you know what's crazy about these suspects? There are two pairs of brothers in this team. Like, imagine having kids as me gulugudu. Oh, for 800,000 rands, guys, for 800,000 rands, Impilo, Yama legend is gone, you know. And my heart also, like, it just goes out to the families regarding the way their lives were taken, you know. And I don't know all the speculations that are coming up right now, like with regards to blaming Anele's father, saying that the suspect is inside AKA's camp. This story is going to be long and wild, but it really saddens me that this case might be solved before Indabaya Kasenzo Meyo, because that is a shit show. We all can see it. My 3-year-old can see mama. It's not it. But yeah, guys, let's talk more in the comment section down below. And thank you for Eswatini for putting ikhas kule stove, because na segapegwa ke sana. Segapegwa. So yeah, I will be back soon.
AKA as well as Mr. Tabelo Motswane, who's also known as Tips. The incident that happened on the 10th of February in Florida, here in Devon. These 6, they played different roles during the operation. We have a coordinator who's basically the master of everything, is in custody. We have 2 shooters that you also on social media. We have 2 spotters that were one of the spotters was inside the restaurant observing and watching Mr. Forbes and his friends, as well as the organizer of firearms and vehicles, because the vehicle used as getaway, firearms that were used to shoot, they all hired. As I said, the 6 of them. The spotter initially followed Mr. Forbes from the airport on arrival, all the way to the hotel, as well as to the restaurant where the incident happened.